Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out on such a gorgeous day. We appreciate it. We had many reservations, and we're excited to see so many people that were able to come and get through the flooding. I would like to welcome you for our 119th annual meeting of the Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis. Yay! I am Helen Kurlander Goldstein, current president of the board of directors of the Federation. It takes a lot of work to put one of these annual meetings together, and I want to make sure that we thank Mark Swates, the CEO of the Federation, and Andrea Kaczynski, who's walking around with crutches somewhere, our chief marketing officer, and all the Federation staff for making tonight's event possible. We have a wonderful program tonight. We will be honoring special individuals who have made a significant difference in our Jewish community this past year. We will also be honoring unique programs that have made an impact in our community. During our program, we will be sharing with you why we do what we do and how we help at the Federation make our Jewish community thrive. We will also have the business portion of the meeting to thank our board of directors for their service as they cycle off the board and welcome our new board members and our new executive committee members. Our program tonight will be a little over an hour. We invite you to stay with us after the meeting to enjoy a dessert reception that is sponsored by the Federation's Legacy Community. To kick off tonight, we have a special performance by Davey Grabowski. Is Davey up here? Oh, there he is. So Davey just finished the 3rd grade at the Haston Hebrew Academy. He is the son of Marina and Leo Grabowski. Tonight, he's going to play Hinema Tov and Oseh Shalom. Please welcome Davey.
Davey, that was incredible. Thank you so much. Okay, we have crew we have crew now for the piano. Okay, good. Davey, that was incredible. Thank you. We can't wait to see what's next from you. That was great. Helen and I want to give a special thanks to all of our hardworking and dedicated clergy and agency and synagogue executives and professionals who are here tonight. Our communities come together in this past year in ways that we've really never seen before. We wouldn't be this thriving Jewish community that we are without these partnerships. So let me just call out the people who I think are here, and please let me know if I missed anybody. Rabbi Hal Shevitz is here. Rabbi Avi Grossbaum is here. From the JCRC, Jacob Markey and Eli Isaacs are here. From Haston Hebrew Academy, Miriam Gettinger and Leo Grabowski are here. From the JCC, Eric Ratner's here, Janie Mauer's here from Hooverwood. And then we have a very special guest all the way from West Lafayette. Matthew Kramer Rowaning is here from the Hill of Purdue. And a really special welcome to Rebecca Goodman, who is the president of the West Lafayette Federation, and her daughter Emma, who are here with us tonight. So thank you all for coming. What did I miss? Oh, Lori Halpern is also here, who will be the new head of school over at Hastings Hebrew Academy. And a mazel tov to Lori, who is getting married on Sunday. Being a volunteer and professional leader in this community is really no small task. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication. We're really representing the community. And this year, as we're going to talk a lot about October 7th, all of us really having to deal with that tidal wave of need and emotion and really, everything that we've been doing this past year. It's really been a tough year, and we really deeply appreciate you all. Also, since this is our annual meeting, I want to extend a huge thank you to all of our past presidents who are here with us tonight. I know that there is no such thing as an easy tenure as a president. So we all stand on your shoulders because you all dealt with your own challenges during your tenure. So I think we have Gigi Mark Selcher, John Abrams, Mike Rubin, Paul Kraft, Dick Leventhal, and Ofer Korn, who are all here tonight. So thank you all for coming. What?
Benton.
Oh, is Benton here?
Yes, Benton.
And Benton's here too. Okay. Hi, Benton. I can't see a thing. So, tonight we're also offering a special thank you and mazel tov to our beloved Lori Moss. This year marks Lori's 40th anniversary of working with our Jewish community. She began her work through the Jewish Community Center. She transitioned to Jewish Family and Children's Services, which is now the Jewish Family Services and is now part of the Federation. Lori has been involved really in life-changing initiatives throughout her entire tenure here, from resettling Soviet Jewry to the COVID crisis and so many things in between and even since. She has touched thousands and thousands of lives, and we are all better off because of her work. As you know, probably know, we were supposed to have the hors d'oeuvres this evening were supposed to be in Lori's honor, but Lori is unable to be here tonight because of a really profound family crisis that she's dealing with. But she knows that we're all praying for her, that we're all thinking of her, and we couldn't let her 40th anniversary pass without really expressing our thanks to her on behalf of the community for everything that she's done. It's now my honor to invite Rabbi Hal Shevitz of Congregation Beth El Tzedek up to the podium for a Dvar Torah and some prayers for the state of Israel, the IDF, and the hostages who are still being held in Gaza. Thank you, Rabbi, for being with us here tonight.
Great. Thank you, Mark. So this coming Shabbat, we continue our cycle of reading the Torah with the beginning of the book of Numbers. The book begins with a census of the Israelites as they prepare for their journey through the wilderness. However, even though most English translations give us the phrase, take a census, that's not exactly what the Hebrew says. The instruction in the Torah is se'u et rosh, which literally means lift up the head. Now, it might be easier to call it census taking in English, but the literal translation is more helpful to us in understanding what's truly happening. The Torah's language, se'u et rosh, lift up the head, indicates to us that each person is counted individually, that each person matters. Rashi amplifies this understanding by referencing a midrash that teaches that God wants us to count the Jewish people, that God wants to count the Jewish people because we are precious to God. The midrash presents us with an image of someone counting precious stones over and over to admire them, to ensure that they are all still there. It teaches us that Israel is God's prized possession, and counting is an expression of affection. We might even imagine that the one counting is doing so with some degree of anxiety, making sure that every single one is still there, that none have been lost, forgotten, or left behind. Not only is each Israelite counted as an individual, but they are all also sorted into their affiliated groups, with each person having a role to play in the larger collective of Israel. The whole community cannot function unless each individual fulfills his or her unique role. This counting reinforces the equality of every Israelite, and it tells us that each person possesses his or her own unique value, that every person matters, and that we must count on each other. Through this act of counting, each individually is equally part of the collective, and tradition affirms that we are at our best when we are able to come together and work towards the common good. And we see this teaching reflected in the work of the Federation. The Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis serves the community, making sure that everyone is counted and that each person matters. We've all gotten those text messages of the census, right? They want us counted. Through its numerous programs and its ability to form consensus among a diverse array of groups, the Federation values all of its constituents, striving to treat each of us like precious stones and work with every institution so that we all have a valued place in our community. We pray that the Federation continues its mission of counting each of us and providing the services and unity that brings together all institutions and individuals, ensuring a flourishing Indianapolis Jewish community. We continue as I lead us in prayers for the state of Israel, for the IDF, and for the hostages. Avinu Shabashamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'goalo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu, Hagen aleha be'avrat chastecha, Ufros alenu sukat shlomecha, Ushlach orcha v'amitcha l'rasheha sara v'yatzeha, V'taknem be'etza tova milfanecha, Chazek et yidei meginei eretz kodshenu, V'hanchilem Eloheinu Yeshua v'ater nitzachon ta'atrem, V'natata shalom ba'aretz v'simchat olam v'lioshve v'nomar amen. Avinu Shabashamayim, Rock and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, first flowering of our redemption. Shield it with your love, spread over it the shelter of your peace, guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Establish for them your good counsel, strengthen the hands of the defenders of our holy land, cause them to inherit, our God, deliverance, place the crown of victory upon them, give the land peace and everlasting joy to its inhabitants, and let us say, Amen. Prayers for the Israel Defense Forces. Mishiberach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Hu Yivarech et Chayei Tzva Haganah Yisrael Ha'omdim al Mishmar Artzenu v'Arei Eloheinu migvul ha'Lebanon v'al Midbar Mitzrayim u'min Hayam Hagadol ad levo ha'Arava b'Yabasha ba'Avir u'Bayam HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yishmor v'Yatzil et Chayelenu mikol tzara v'tzukah mikol nega u'machla v'Yishlach bracha v'Hatzlacha b'chol ma'aseh yedehem. Tzor Yisrael v'goalo ha'atzal miruchacha al kol yoshvei artzenu, haser mekirivenu, sina v'eva, kina v'rishut, v'tab libenu ahava v'achva, shalom v'reut, v'kayem bimhera b'yamenu chazon v'yecha, lo yisogoyel goy charev, v'lo yimadu ad milchama, v'nomar amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and strengthen the soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces who stand guard over our land and the cities of our God, from the border of the Lebanon to the desert of Egypt, and from our great sea into the approach of the Arava, on the land and the air and on the sea. May the Holy Blessed One protect and rescue them from every trouble and distress, from every injury and illness, and bring blessing and success to their deeds. Rock and Redeemer of Israel, grant peace and joy to all the inhabitants of the state of Israel, removing from their midst hatred and enmity, jealousy and wickedness, and plant in their hearts love and kinship, peace and friendship. Soon in our days may the vision of the prophet be fulfilled. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore. And to this we say, Amen. And the prayer for the hostages still in captivity. Achenu kol beit Yisrael, achayotenu kol beit Yisrael, hanitunim betzara v'shivya ha'omdim ben bayam u'ben bayabasha, hamakom yirachem alehem, v'yotzi'em mitzarav lirvacha, u'me'afela la'ora, mishibud le'geula, hashta bagalav yizman kariv, v'nomar amen. Our brothers and sisters of the whole house of Israel, who are in distress and captivity, whether they wander on the sea or the land, may the ever-present one have mercy on them and bring them from distress to comfort, from darkness to light, from captivity to redemption, now, swiftly, and soon. To this we say, Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. And a special thank you. You know, we have partnerships across the community and we value them all. And it just so happens that on October 7th, we called Rabbi Hal and Sherry Lip Levine and George, who are all here tonight, to say we need to do something to bring our community together on October 7th. And as I know any of our synagogues would have done, Bethel really stepped up and they put the whole thing together and they really hosted us all for the memorial that we held on October 9th. And we'll always remember that and say thank you so much. And now please join me as we remember the members of our Jewish community who have passed away since our last annual meeting. This includes several Holocaust survivors, some longtime lay leaders, and a Federation past president, Stanley Telesnik. May those memories be a blessing. And now we're going to offer a moment of silence in memory of the victims of terrorism, both here at home, in Israel, and around the world. We honor those in the armed forces who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our great country, and to those in the Israel Defense Force who have given their lives in defense of the world's only Jewish state. May the memory be a blessing.
On October 7th, we witnessed the most horrific attack on our people since the Holocaust. This attack rocked our world, our families, and broke our hearts. I want to take a moment to share with you a tale of unity and strength, which was our community's response to these events of October 7th. That terrible Saturday started with a phone call at 4:30 a.m. from our son, Eitan, who lives in Jaffa in South Tel Aviv. He said that Hamas had infiltrated the kibbutzim near the Gaza border and were advancing into Israel, that it was a surprise attack, but he only had a few details. However, he said that things were looking very bad and he was going to stay in his safe room in his apartment. As the morning went on, the enormity of the tragedy started to become apparent. We learned that Ophir Lipstein was among the first people identified as murdered. This brought the tragedy directly to the doorstep of our Indianapolis Jewish community. We had just met Ophir in August when Megan and Greg Maurer sponsored his visit to Indianapolis to share the work he was doing in the south of Israel to bring peace through education. The Maurers were close friends of Ophir and had had dinner with him Friday night on October 6th, the night before the massacre. They learned of his murder while they were on the airplane flying home. Megan and Greg, thank you for introducing us to this amazing person, and we all join you in feeling his loss. Amidst the chaos, our community rallied. We organized a leadership call at 10 a.m. that morning with all of Federation and JCRC staff, along with representatives from synagogues and agency lay leaders. We knew we had to stand together in solidarity with Israel and to support one another. What followed was a testament to the power of the unity and collective action that we took. In just 36 hours, we orchestrated a program that brought together over 2,000 households, both in person and virtually. It was one of the first gatherings of its kind in the country. The bonds forged during those intense hours of planning and togetherness continue to resonate within the togetherness of our community. It reminds us of the strength that we possess when we stand together. Please look at the TV screens for a video highlighting our community's support as we stand proudly with Israel. Michael, we need the audio. We're having a little technical problem here.
Breaking news, Israel has declared it is at war.
We could hear rocket fire not far from here, just as we were coming on this morning.
Hamas militants are targeting civilians, taking more than 100 hostage.
Video shows Palestinian militants taking entire families captive, gunning down Israeli civilians in their towns.
Deadliest day for Jews since the Holocaust.
It's been 40 days since Hamas staged a terrorist attack on Israel. That attack there reignited deep divisions here.
I support the right of Palestinians to resist occupation, including through Hamas, the armed wing of the unified Palestinian resistance.
I was forced to leave my study group for my doctoral exams halfway through the semester because my group members told me that the people at the Nova Music Festival deserved to die because they were partying on stolen land.
Thank you for being here to stand with our community in solidarity with the state of Israel and the Jewish people. Being here under these circumstances is heartbreaking. But there's strength in all of us coming together as a community, as one.
Images coming in from the National Mall tonight, tens of thousands of people taking part in the March for Israel, a show of solidarity and support for Israel and for the Israeli people following the October 7th Hamas terror attack.
You stand up front, people stand up front, family back home.
So we're going to march to remind the world that anti-Semitism isn't okay. This march is really to demonstrate to the world that the Jewish community is not going to be afraid.
The message is built into the Jewish people's most ancient history. Jews are strongest at their broken places.
Let's come together in a show of solidarity. It's a great example for those that are feeling helpless and want to do something, but aren't really sure what can they do. We find our strength in our communities.
Over here in Indiana to do acts of good, make this world a better place. It's a call to action. Action of good, acts of kindness, and that's for everyone.
Thank you. That was a powerful video. I am moved by the power of what we as a community have done and what we continue to do to support Israel and fight anti-Semitism. We watched as our Haston Hebrew Academy students cheered our bus on as we left for Washington, D.C. for the march. At the march, we Hoosiers joined hundreds of thousands to stand with Israel. Many of our community members, as you've seen from the video, have gone to make a difference, to volunteer. We have been working with our partnership region in the Western Galilee to help them financially and as well as making sure that we send Indy volunteers that were needed, including doctors. Our JCRC Stand Up and Speak Out program now has over 40 high school Jewish students trained to speak to high school students across Indiana about Judaism in Israel. Our Safe Indy program was expanded to include Safe Indiana. So now we are providing through the Federation security assistance to Jewish places and spaces throughout the entire state. After October 7th, our Indianapolis Federation community raised over $2.45 million for the Israel Emergency Fund, which directly supports humanitarian efforts in Israel. Your money was and continues to be sent to the areas that are most affected. You have opened your hearts to our beloved homeland, and we are forever grateful for your support. Last year at this time, I stood before you and accepted your nomination for me to be the president of the Federation. Of course, I had no way of knowing the extraordinary year that awaited me, our community, and our Jewish world. I have mentioned the extraordinary effort our Federation has made to provide opportunities for our community to come together and support Israel and our people after October 7th and through today. Each one of our program and gatherings has been to sold-out crowds, a testament to our community's longing for unity and connection. Our community wants to be together, and your Federation is here to help fulfill that need. However, our Federation is only as strong as our agencies and synagogues are. With this in mind, we have worked this year and will continue to work on rekindling relationships across the Jewish community to foster an inclusive and vibrant environment. Only by positive collaboration with our agencies and synagogues will this be achieved. I made a pledge to guide our Jewish community into the next generation, where all Jews, regardless of age or background, feel a deep sense of pride and passion in their Jewish identity. Central to this commitment was the empowerment and training of our young people to assume leadership roles throughout our entire Jewish community, Federation, our agencies, and synagogues. I am thrilled to report that all 3 of our engagement and leadership programs are now operating, and the response has been nothing short of overwhelming. Our 36 Under 36 program identifies new talent that we would like to begin to learn about our Jewish community. Our Koach Mauer mission is made up of young Jewish men and women in their mid-20s to 30s, most being new to our Jewish community. The program's goal is to expose and equip the participants with tools to educate, lead, and advocate for themselves and others, particularly around issues related to anti-Semitism. ATEED is our flagship leadership development program. The program equips participants with the skills and knowledge to deepen their leadership commitment to the Federation and the entire Indianapolis Jewish community. Our National Young Leadership Cabinet has 2 alumni and 2 currently participating. That's phenomenal considering for the last 15 years, since I was part of the cabinet, we have not had a representative. This year, we also launched a Women's Engagement Committee aimed at uniting women with meaningful programs. Our Next Gen program and PJ Library are the first steps toward involvement. The impact of these programs is evident in the growing number of rising leaders within our Federation, our agencies, and synagogues. We are so proud of the young people that have stepped up and are involved. At our last major donor dinner, a gentleman who'd been involved in our community for many, many years came up to me and said, "I don't know anyone here." And I said, "Isn't that wonderful? Think of all the young people that are here. It's really, really amazing." Turning to another endeavor is our commitment to honor our past and remember those who came before us. I set a priority for our Federation to play a leadership role in planning for the ultimate perpetual care of our Southside cemeteries. These cemeteries are the resting places of our families dating back to the 1800s. I am pleased to say that we have made great strides this year. Miriam Dant, our vice president, and Jeff Lincoln have engaged AES, the power company, the assistant mayor of Indianapolis, and the Department of Public Works. After a number of years of failed attempts at making the cemetery perimeter safe, we now have lighting and secure cameras. We are currently working with the city on repairing Kelly Street and the sidewalks with the goal of making the cemetery entrances handicapped accessible. The Federation continues to provide lawn care and basic maintenance services. However, as each cemetery has its own maintenance challenges, our next step is to form a community-wide committee to discuss how best to organize the ownership of the cemeteries. And yes, as with anything Jewish, each cemetery has its own unique ownership and the way that it is set up. We also want to raise money for current structural needs and build an endowment so these cemeteries are taken care of in perpetuity. In the event you're interested in being on that committee, please let myself or Miriam know. We would love to have you part of it. In addition to Miriam and Jeff, I want to thank Sherry Lip-Levine at Bethel and Pete at IHC for participating with us in this endeavor. We are also reworking our Federation committee structure with a goal in mind for these committee members who have institutional knowledge and leadership to serve as mentors to the new people coming to the committee. So far, this has become a valuable experience for both the mentors and the mentees. Next year, we will also be developing engagement opportunities for men and women in our community over the age of 50. We need to re-engage this cohort and continue to appreciate their role. We always appreciate their role in our community. I look forward to the wonderful work we have ahead. I want to take a moment to thank some special people. First and foremost, my husband, Asaf. From my late night Federation meetings to the last minute phone calls while we are on vacation, you have developed an extraordinary amount of patience that I so appreciate. You are truly the wind beneath my wings. I would also like to thank my children, Eitan and Lauren. Eitan has made himself available in the middle of the night in Israel to participate in Zoom calls for evening gatherings. Lauren has been a creative sounding board for program ideas for younger adults. I am so excited that my dad, Jerry, my brother, David, and my nephew, Eli, are here today. I so appreciate your support. Last year was the first year of our new pared down executive committee structure. It worked better than I ever could have imagined. We have formed a cohesive group of dedicated leaders, with each member taking on a lead on the executive committee, task forces, and major board committees. It has been my privilege to get to know all of you. I thank you for your time, effort, and dedication to our community. To our professional staff, you are the backbone that makes the Federation work. The positive way in which you all work together is inspiring. I love walking down the hallway at Federation and seeing all of the open doors and the coffee clutches going on in the hallways. It's been my honor to get to know you, and thank you all for your commitment to the community. Now for Mark Suarez, our esteemed CEO. Your passion for your newly adopted hometown of Indianapolis is admirable. I appreciate our open communication style with each other. You're not afraid to tell me what you think, and I'm not afraid to tell you no. Our give and take of ideas with each other makes for a collaborative environment from which the best decisions are made. Thank you for all you do. I appreciate you. In conclusion, I want to thank you, our Jewish community, for allowing me to serve. Okay, now It's time to switch gears. We're done with the speech portion, and we're now getting ready to give some very well-deserving community members Federation awards. First, I would like to thank the awards committee chaired by John Abrams for their thoughtful deliberations during the process. Our first award is the Domon Award. Thank you. Is the Domon Award. It was established in honor of Ben and Gus Domon for their many years of steadfast support and commitment to the quality of life in Indianapolis. This award is given to agencies, congregations, and Jewish organizations for outstanding creativity in community service or the enhancement of Jewish life. I just want to say the Domonts, Dad, maybe you can tell me, how long ago were the Domonts involved in the Federation? Well, my dad's 92, right? Yeah, so it's been a while, but their name is still here, and it's just an honor to give this award out. This year, the Domon Award is presented to 36 under 36, the program created and administered by our Federation. The program, 36 participants under the age of 36, it was conceived as an opportunity to identify and engage young Jewish leaders. Under the stewardship of Andrea Kaczynski, Federation's Chief Marketing Officer, 36 under 36 has become what we'd call an instant classic. She coordinated the marketing, received 70 nominations of people who were interested in the program. And then she assembled a committee to create a wonderful mix of familiar and unfamiliar names. But Andrea didn't stop there. She created multiple opportunities for the participants to interact with one another to form relationships. She even met with the nominees who weren't selected so they knew that they were also valued and welcomed. Since the 36 under 36 program's formal conclusion, participants have significantly increased their participation in community programs and leadership opportunities. 36 under 36, as I mentioned earlier, is being offered again this year. And again, we had more than 70 nominations for this second class. It is clearly a program that fits the phrase, if you build it, they will come. Thank you, Andrea, and the rest of the Federation team for making such an impact in our community. Andrea? Thank you. It may be a moment.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, here's the award.
Congress over here.
Oh,
Where's the?
hold on, I can't turn.
All right, here, can you come over this way? Here, come this way.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrea hurt her knee, both supporting the Jewish community, which she does so well, and playing Jewish baseball. The next award goes to the Love Award. The Love Award was established in 2017, and it recognizes independent initiatives to create and share a Jewish experience. And this year, the Love Award is presented to Emma Law Oppman. In what feels like an incredibly short time, Emma has ridden as a leader at Beth-El Tzedek, here at the Federation, and on the national stage. After October 7th, Emma co-created Mothers Against Anti-Zionism. Mothers Against Anti-Semitism, a Facebook group to raise awareness and provide a platform to discuss the sharp rise in anti-Semitism on our college campuses. The group caught fire. It went viral, and only 9 months later now it has 60,000 followers, and is incredibly, incredibly active. Through the Facebook group and additional leadership work through the ADL, Emma has been on the front lines confronting universities about the treatment of Jewish students on their campuses and on the various speakers that those schools are bringing in. She's testified before legislators, put on webinars, participated in letter writing campaigns, and rallied the 60,000 members in an amazing, incredible ways and very, very meaningful. Emma, you have stood strong in the midst of hate, and we are all deeply, deeply grateful. So on behalf of the community, I am proud to present you with the Love Award. Oh, wait, what? Oh. Okay, thank you.
And Emma, we got you a hollow board. Yeah, because we figured, plaques are great, but hollow boards are a little more useful. Um, the next award is the Melvin Simon Tikona Lam Award. This award was established in 2002 to recognize a unique special project that has enhanced the overall community. This award goes to the Haston Hebrew Academy, led by Michael Vostabonek and Miriam Gettinger, for the innovative technology partnership together that they have with the Western Galilee in Israel. It unites a virtual world with schools around Israel. Please take a look at the video, both here, and you'll learn about it, what takes place both here and in Israel.
The Haston Hebrew Academy has formed an innovative partnership with schools in Western Galilee, guided by HHI technology teacher Michael Vostabonek. This collaboration flourished with the Virtual Worlds project, where students created avatars and built mini worlds, virtually meeting to celebrate events like Hanukkah and Tu B'Shvat.
Later on, HTI students visited Israel for a 3D Ton challenge, sharing tech tools and apps with the Rambam School. Our students created 10 virtual Jewish communities, now featured in HHI's Holocaust Museum.
The Generations to Generation project with Millennium School, led by the Army Museum, had students interview grandparents, with top projects showcased on the annual platform. HHI students also presented the fruits of this collaboration at the world's largest ISTE EdTech conference.
After the October 7th attacks, teachers and students were not sure if and how our twinning partnership would continue. Many students have been displaced and forced back into e-learning. However, we decided that it was more imperative than ever to maintain this connection and support the Israeli students at this difficult time.
Hello, Dina. This is our school. So this is a part of the garden. We come here sometimes sit and talking, but now because of the war, we can't come here. Together, we created augmented reality, Hanukkah, and Purim masks, sent each other Purim gifts, and prepared virtual books with self-app.
We invited Israeli classes to virtually tour our Holocaust Museum, with our students serving as docents and soon camera operators for this tour.
Hi, my name is Becky. I'm a teacher at Banim School in Aina Mifrat, Israel. We did Zoom meetings with our new friends from Western Academy. We led interviews with our grandparents and documented their life stories. We created clips of our schools and our kibbutzim and sent them to each other. We even exchanged, as you can see in the pictures. I think this project is important because we met amazing kids and created new friendships. We were invited to visit Biazon in Haston's Academy Holocaust Museum. It was a powerful and memorable experience. But most importantly, we learned that we are not alone. We have brothers and sisters in Indianapolis and in the entire world, our Jewish brothers and sisters. We are happy and proud to take part in the Generation project.
Mazal tov to the Haston Academy for this incredible achievement. I'm Heidi Benish, Director of the Partnership, which connects the Jewish community of Indianapolis with the Western Galilee in Israel. With great inspiration, we follow Michael's work with the school twinning for years, and we see the impact on the children. They love these joint events. They have a feeling of Am Yisrael Chai, and that we are one big family. Toda rabah and Mazel tov.
What a wonderful program, and we are so excited to be able to honor the program. Unfortunately, Mr. Vostabonek is unable to attend. Actually, he's referred to as Mr. V for a reason. But Mrs. Gettinger is here, and I invite her to accept this award.
Our alum, Anna Vostabonek. Oh, would be much better too. Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you.
Our next award is the L.L. Goodman Young Leadership Award. The L.L. Goodman Young Leadership Award was established in 1966 to recognize individuals under the age of 50 who have demonstrated leadership skills in community activities and in the annual campaign. Our first award today is an incredible, selfless, and kind community leader. She currently serves on the executive board at Hastings Hebrew Academy and is co-president of the PTO. She's also on the executive board member at the Federation and is doing an exceptional job chairing the Planning and Allocations Committee. She's in the second year of her membership on the JFNA's prestigious National Cabinet and is a proud Lion of Judah. Of course, I am talking about Janine Shapiro. Janine couldn't be with us here tonight, so Helen and I surprised her with the award last week. So please watch this video of that auspicious moment.
That you are the recipient of the L.L. Goodman Leadership Award. Which is the top leader for those under the age of 50 in our Jewish community. I don't know that I deserve this. It's the highest award that we have to do. Oh, that is so kind. I wanted to let you know. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Would have gotten out of my pajamas today. It recognizes a recognition of outstanding young leadership. Oh, Jewish community. Yeah. I wish I could be there today to thank everyone in person. I'm so touched by this award. In fact, looking at the list of past recipients, my heart feels so full, and I know that I have a lot to measure up to and big shoes to continue to try to fill. And thank you to all the amazing role models in our community, and I look forward to continuing to work with you.
The next L.L. Goodman Award recipient is a person who has taken on leadership roles within the Federation, the JCRC, and the Indianapolis legal community. He was named a 36 under 36. He served on the Federation's Planning and Allocation Committee, and he was chair of JCRC's Government Affairs Committee, a JCRC vice president, and as of last month, he's serving as JCRC's president. I have personally seen his knowledge of the political process, his calm demeanor, and his consistent consensus-building abilities when we worked together recently on issues in the Indiana State House. Also, he has always offered a strategic and strong voice. There is little surprise that he already received the JCRC's most prestigious award, the David M. Cook Memorial Award, for his work and efforts in the community. Outside of the Indianapolis Jewish community, he is a partner at Fagery Drinker. I almost said Fagery Daniels, but Fagery Drinker, where he counsels and assists public and private companies in connection with mergers and acquisitions. He is a devoted husband, a father of 3. We anticipate that he will be at the Jewish leadership table for years to come. This year's recipient of the L.L. Goodman Leadership Award goes to Eli Isaacs. Eli, please join me as you are and come up and say a few words. Just here's your from around.
I'm just glad I'm not in my pajamas. Thank you. This was truly shocking, and I'm embarrassed and humbled, but very appreciative, and look forward to continuing to try to earn it.
Our last surprise award is the Frank Newman Award. It was established in 1991 and is presented to an outstanding professional in one of the Federation's constituent or beneficiary agencies or in the Jewish community. Tonight's award winner is a smart, hardworking, and caring individual who has worked, in the words of her nominator, indefatigably for Congregation Bethel Tzedek in the Jewish community. She's a lifelong member of Bethel Tzedek with a long history of involvement and in service in her family. She became a bat mitzvah, a confirmand, and a wife at the congregation. And she has worked there for the better part of her adult life. During high school, she worked as the secretary of the school, and she taught for the religious school. She served as program director from 1996 until 2014, and has ever since served as their executive director. Of course, we're talking about Sherry Lip-Levine. Sherry, your nomination was such a joy to read. It says that you are an effective leader while maintaining your team spirit. Your staff is loyal and hardworking because they know that you work hard. You support them and you encourage them to grow professionally and personally. They say you are calm, that you can calm irate congregants, comfort bereft mourners, and even soothe troubled members of the community on the same night. Sherry works closely with the board of directors and the executive board. You guide them as they to teach them the institutional knowledge and history, the community culture and tradition. Shelly, you held everything together during the pandemic, and you created an engaging programming to reintroduce congregants to the synagogue once it ended, which was no small feat. And finally, as the congregation's leadership has transitioned, you've been a solid support in shepherding the professional staff and congregation as the community changes. In recognition of all that and so much more, it is our honor to present you with the Frank Newman Award.
Oh, wow. Yeah. This is.
You want to say? Here, Sherry.
Sherry, come sing a little something.
So I very honored to receive this award and very shocked. But the Indianapolis has been my home forever, and Congregation Bethel Tzedek has been as well as this Jewish community. And it's been a calling that I didn't think I had, but I had it. And I really do day in and day out enjoy my job. There are, of course, stresses and things like that. But in the end, I know that I'm really working to strengthen our Jewish community, and it means so much to me. So thank you.
The next award is the Kahilo Award, which was established in 2009 for sustained and outstanding volunteer service in the Jewish community. This year's award goes to Rabbis Dennis and Sandy Sasso. Rabbi Dennis Sasso served as senior rabbi at Congregation Bethel Tzedek from 1979 to 2004. Rabbi Sandy Eisenberg Sasso, or as we call her, Rabbi Sandy, served as the rabbi of the congregation from 2017 to 2013. She is currently the director of the Religion, Spirituality, and Arts program at IUPUI. Though retired, the Sassos continue their involvement in our local Jewish and non-Jewish community, which has been critical for the last few months after October 7th and working through anti-Semitism. Through their involvement on our community boards, they provide a voice for our Jewish community locally and statewide. They use their knowledge and influence to make sure that those in power understand the issues in our community and understand the issues not only that our community is currently experiencing, but that they also work for support when needed. Rabbis Dennis and Sandy, of course, are sought-out speakers and prolific writers who contribute articles and essays to various publications, including the Times of Israel, the Indianapolis Star, and the IBJ. This year, those prolific writings have been extremely important and instrumental in informing others of the facts about Israel, anti-Semitism, racism, and anti-Zionism. The Sassos were awarded many awards, as many of us have been there as they've been awarded awards. But the most important thing is they are there for our community in their retirement, and we so appreciate it. Unfortunately, Rabbis Dennis and Sandy could not be here. I think they're at David's son Darwin is graduating high school in Connecticut, and they're at the graduation. But I would like to welcome Debbie, their daughter Debbie, to receive the award.
Of course, they sent me with remarks, right? Okay. I'm delighted to receive this award on behalf of my dear parents, Sandy and Dennis. As you heard, they would have loved to have been here, but they are currently with my brother and his family in New Haven to celebrate the graduation of my nephew, Darwin. Kehillah community has been at the heart of my parents' rabbinic and personal lives for over 5 decades. Even though they were the rabbis of Congregation Beth El Zedek, they always saw themselves as ambassadors of the values of Judaism to the entire Jewish people and to the civic and interfaith communities. They have asked that I thank you for your constant partnership and friendship in these endeavors and for your continued leadership and service to the Jewish people, especially during these challenging times. Am Yisrael Chai v'Kayam, the people of Israel lives, endures, and thrives.
Want to do it?
No, sorry.
Our last award for the evening is the Lieber Mosler Community Service Award, which recognizes individuals with a sustained record of exceptional service to the Jewish community and the general community as well. And this year's award goes to Gigi Marks-Delscher. There is almost nothing that I can say about Gigi that everyone in this room doesn't already know. For 40 years, Gigi has devoted herself to this Jewish community and to our entire community, and has held nearly every philanthropic position that there is. She sent us a resume. It was 4 pages long. She has held leadership positions through the Women's American Ort, the Junior League of Indianapolis, the United Jewish Communities, now the Jewish Federations of North America. She held positions at Indianapolis Hebrew Congregation, Congregation Beth El Zedek, and Hastings Hebrew Academy. Through the Federation umbrella, she has served on 25 different leadership positions, from women's campaign committees to the president of the board of directors. She is even one of my immediate predecessors, has served as co-executive director of the Jewish Federation with Katie Cantor at a very pivotal time just a couple of years ago. And she is currently on our board's executive committee and serves as secretary. This is not Gigi's first community award. She has won various awards throughout her tenure, including the 1992 Sarah's Daughter Award from Women's American Ort, the 2012 Indiana Israel Dinner of State Award, and the High Life Award in 2004. She received the L.L. Goodman Award in 1989, the Endowment Achievement Award in 1988, the Kehillah Award in 2014, and the International Lion of Judah Conference Award in 2019. And the impressive list, of course, continues. But really, Gigi, you are the award. You're the example to the entire community for what it means to have a record of sustained, exceptional service. On behalf of myself, as well as everyone in this room and beyond, thank you for your leadership, your mentorship, and your friendship. We're a better community because of all your work. And I know you have a couple things to say. Thank you.
Gigi, wait.
Oh.
I love this. It's a tzedakah box, and it will be used in our home for sure. Thank you so much for recognizing me with this award. While I didn't know Lieber Mosler, I knew of him, and it's meaningful that you believe I have compiled a body of work that reflects Mr. Mosler's high standards when he framed the criteria for this award that would carry his name. I guess I'm listening to Mark. It's more than what I remember. I like to read old Federation newspapers and reflect upon the Jews who built, sustained, and strengthened our Indianapolis Jewish community. People who lived ordinary lives, raising families, working, yet did extraordinary things in our Jewish world, locally, nationally, overseas, and in Israel. I had and I have today the privilege to know many of them whose leadership has crossed the decades of my life from the 1960s on. I've always felt, since my first Federation meeting in 1988, that I stand on the shoulders of those who have come before me and carry on their legacy while creating my own and leaving a foundation for future generations. In the last few years, there's been an opportunity to share my experience with people currently assuming their roles as Federation and community leaders. I've gained so much. I've gained as much as I've given, appreciating the sense of being with people of like mind while affirming the circle of life in the Jewish world. I feel a deep sense of Am Yisrael Chai tonight as the past, present, and future are colliding together this evening. Thank you so much, and thank you to everyone here who's been a part of all of the things that I've accomplished. I could not have done it on my own, and I do so appreciate that we've all worked together in this wonderful community of Indianapolis.
It's okay. It's fine.
All right, well, that's how I open it.
Yeah, now you know how to open
Yes.
it. Mwah.
You're up, right?
Yep. Okay. You keep that. Congratulations to all of our award winners, and thank you all for what you have done and continue to do for the community. The Jewish Federation also awarded 8 scholarships to young, well, actually not all young, some are working Jewish people who are furthering their academics. I want to thank our scholarship committee this year, chaired by Matt Tobe, for helping us support Jewish students who are pursuing their dreams through education. The Mark Peskovitz Outstanding Volunteer Leadership Scholarship was established through contributions made in memory of Dr. Mark Peskovitz for a Jewish junior or senior in high school with a record of outstanding service to the Jewish and/or general Indianapolis community. We are pleased to announce that Ella Shemesh received the Mark Peskovitz Scholarship Award. The Svetlana and Zanavi Grimberg Endowed Scholarship was established in memory of Svetlana and Zanavi Grimberg by their loving family. The Grimbergs believed in education and the opportunities it afforded. It is given to recognize a working female community member who is pursuing education that will lead to a career. Livia Karen received the Svetlana and Zanavi Grimberg Scholarship. The Eugene and Betty Friedman Scholarship is granted to deserving Jewish individuals seeking to further their education. This award was given to Matthew Probashki, Kenneth Sondhelm, Eitan Bajwal, and Anna Voistevonik, who just came up and accepted the award. Each received the Eugene and Betty Friedman Memorial Scholarship. The Len Perel Memorial Scholarship is granted to a deserving Jewish individual also seeking to further their education. It recognizes academic excellence and volunteer experience in the Indianapolis Jewish community, and Eitan Bajwal received that award. Congratulations to all of our Federation Scholarship recipients. I would now like to invite Sheila Greenwald to the stage. Sheila, there she is. Just go ahead and state, there's a microphone, to give out this year's BJE's Endowment Scholarship. Yeah, thanks. Where's Sarah?
Thank you very much for being able. Do I have to turn it on?
It's on.
Is it on?
Yes.
Okay, but thank you very much for for allowing me to be able to serve on this committee of the BJE endowment and to be able to present to this young lady, Sarah Borick, this presentation scholarship for outstanding exceptional high school senior. Sarah, you have been an outstanding member of your school community, demonstrating both academic excellence and profound commitment to your heritage and culture. Your dedication to your Hebrew studies has been nothing short of inspiring. At the age when it can be all too easy to lose touch with one's roots, you have shown a remarkable passion for not only preserving your cultural identity, but also deepening your understanding of it. Your pursuit of Hebrew, a language rich in history and meaning, speaks volumes about your dedication and intellectual curiosity. Sarah, your involvement in NIFTY, where you rose to the esteemed position of regional president, is a testament to your leadership and commitment to fostering a vibrant Jewish community among young people. Additionally, your initiative and leadership at Westfield High School, where you founded and presided over the student union, have left a lasting impact on your peers and set a high standard for student engagement and advocacy. Your summer at Gucci, clearly being transformative. This summer, you will take on roles of counselor and song leader, guiding and inspiring the next generation of campers, including my grandchildren, with your enthusiasm and passion for Jewish life. It's just short. As a participant in the JCRC student-to-student program, you have traveled to local high schools educating your peers about Judaism and fostering understanding and respect. Your work as Stand With Us intern, where you taught your peers about anti-Semitism and Judaism, further highlights your dedication to advocacy and education. As you prepare to embark on the next chapter of your academic journey at Indiana University Bloomington, we celebrate not just your achievement, but also your unwavering commitment to continuing your Jewish studies. Sarah will be minoring in Jewish studies, continuing to take Hebrew, and will be active in Hillel. This commitment will undoubtedly enrich your college experience, offering your new perspective and deeper connections to your heritage. On behalf of the Bureau of Jewish Education Endowment, it is my honor to present you with a check for $1,800. Congratulations, Sarah. It will be sent to the bursar in your name. Congratulations. Sure, no check. Yeah.
Thank you, Sheila, and congratulations, Sarah. I'd also ask at this time if Rivka Bunnis is here and ask her to stand. Rivka is working at the Indianapolis JCRC. She's studying Jewish studies and political science and will graduate from IU Bloomington next May. And we want to thank you for working for us this summer and for the valuable contributions we know you will be making for our Jewish community. Thanks a lot, Rivka. Okay, now, and I promise this won't be really long, now is the formal part of our meeting. We're moving into the business portion. I am officially calling this meeting to order of the Federation of Board of Directors. I just have wanted to do that since I became president last year, and we don't have a gavel. However, this one was used by Samuel Crute and Liebert Mosler. Use this gavel. They're inscribed here. It's kind of hard to read. So the meeting's being called to order. Unfortunately, Leslie Rubin, our immediate past president and chair of the nominating committee, couldn't be here to make it tonight's meeting, but it's my pleasure to call upon Miriam Dant, our executive committee board member, vice president, and chair of our governance committee, to present the report of the nominating committee. Before Miriam reads the slate, I want to personally thank all of you who served on the board of directors and whose term has expired. I would especially like to take a moment to thank Greg Maurer. Greg has worked tirelessly for our community. In his role as vice president and member of the executive committee, he has always added meaningfully to our conversations, and he has taken on any role when asked. We will miss Greg. We look forward to his continued leadership in other roles within our federation. Miriam?
Thank you, Helen. And thank you to the members of the nominating committee for your contributions and dedicated work in this process. Pursuant to the bylaws of the Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis, Inc., I present the report of the nominating committee. For board members with a 3-year term ending in 2027, Katie Cantor, Marina Grabowski, Diane Lutz, John Shapiro, Molly Tavel, and Matt Tobe. Honorary members for a 1-year term ending in 2025, David Barrett, Karen Cohen, Bruce Frank, Rosalie Gussow, Hart Haston, David Clapper, Barbara Leventhal, Barb Levy, Michael Maurer, Michael Mervis, Livia Russell, Robert Schloss, and Herbert Simon. Can I get a motion and a second to adopt the slate? Thank you. All community members are entitled to vote on this motion. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposition? Okay, motion passes. Mazel tov and welcome to our new board of directors. I will not read all the names, but also want to extend thanks to those board members who are continuing their terms of service on the JFGI board. In addition, I would like to recognize and thank those board members whose term is now ending or who are unable to continue with their board service. Those are Marcy Eckhouse, Murray Firestone, Sheila Greenwald, Emma Gurwitz, Leslie Katz, Kevin Krulowicz, Sarah Weinberger, Martin Weiss, and Reva Weiss. Thank you to all of you for your service. I would now like to present the report of the nominating committee with respect to the slate of officers for 2024-2025. That slate is as follows. President Helen Kurlander Goldstein, Vice President Miriam Dant, Vice President Larry Turo, and Vice President Barry Wormser. Campaign Vice Presidents Sandy Knocklis, Michael Rothbaum, and Karen Rothbaum. Treasurer Dan Cantor, Secretary Gigi Marks Felsher, and immediate past President Leslie Rubin. At-large members of the executive committee for a 1-year term, the nomination slate is Jack Kotler, Paul Kraft, Megan Maurer, Janine Shapiro, and Molly Tavel. For this part of the nominating report, only members of the board of directors are able to vote. So I ask for a motion and a second to approve this slate. Second, thank you. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. That motion passes. Mazel tov and congratulations to our Federation officers. For those who are leaving the board, we'll have a certificate to thank you for your service, along with the heartfelt gratitude of our entire community. Thank you.
So about a year ago, my Federation address, I spoke about Simon Sinek's axiom that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. You support the Federation not because of the various programs and activities that we do. You support the Federation because those programs and activities perpetuate the Jewish community. It's about the why. But on October 7th, everything changed. For 8 months now, we've watched not just a horrific war rage in Israel, but other wars are being fought in social media, in the news, on college campuses, at the UN, and beyond. And at both an individual and a collective level, Jews today are under attack. And of course, historically speaking, That's nothing new. Maybe anti-Semitism had been hiding or unfashionable since the horrors of the Holocaust, but I don't think anyone would deny that it's back now. These days, hardly a day passes when there isn't a major story or a headline or above the fold or on the front page of a newsfeed that involves Jews. And since, let's say, October 14th, it has not been in a good way. I don't need to tell you that anti-Semitism, according to the ADL, is up 400%, and that anti-Zionism is so high up it can't even be tracked. And the images that are being dropped on driveways and distributed across our social media are horrifying. We don't even share them with the community because they're frightening and disgusting. And law enforcement says that giving them any sense of recognition will just empower the people who are doing these things. Instead of making it better, it'll make it just that much worse. These flyers and these posts on social media look exactly like those absolute worst newspaper cartoons that you used to see on Der Stürmer, the German newspapers in the 1930s. It's not an exaggeration to say that it's happening right here and right now in the city. Literally this week, we had a flyer drop in Carmel and in Indianapolis that I'm sure many of you know about, and it's just horrible. So my first point is that when last year we were talking about why we do what we do, that was internal forces that were really pulling us together. But now, this year, we're talking about external forces that are pushing us together. Whether it's the Goyim Defense League on one side or Students for Justice in Palestine on the other, we, the Jewish community, are being identified collectively as the evil perpetrator. It's having the effect of both scaring us and also pulling us together, uniting us. Which leads to my second point, which is that today's scholars are calling it a surge, as more and more Jews are seeking out one another and looking for ways to connect with their Jewish community. And we're seeing it here as well, as Helen already said. Every program we do these days pulls in a crowd of people, as long as it's not pouring outside. And often people that we've never seen before. Our leadership development programs, 36 under 36, Atid, Koach, are swelling with applicants. And that's a positive, great thing. It's amazing and powerful and important, and it's why we're here. This is the why that you've been supporting for all these years, perpetuating the Jewish community. You are right to do it. So here we are, and we're growing in every way measurable, which leads really to my final point, which is the state of your federation is strong. Our mission to engage and support the community is clear. Our vision for the long-term health of Indianapolis Jewry is coming into very sharp focus, and we're committed to being an Indianapolis Jewish community, not just Jews who happen to live in Indianapolis. We know now that we can only count on ourselves, but we're united in our passion and our conviction to do so. So it's going to be a big year ahead. A lot of the building blocks that we've been putting in place in terms of volunteer and professional leadership are coming into play, growing our annual campaign, developing relationships across the community. All of these things are starting to pay off. We're going to capitalize on this surge, and we're going to do everything we can to let us propel us forward. We're now engaging almost 100 incredibly talented, invested, and accomplished leaders between our 3 development programs. Our annual campaign should top $4.5 million this year as we gather the resources, not just to support, but to actually grow Jewish life here in Indianapolis. And we're going to continue to take big steps towards the renewal of our Hoover Road campus. I know things have gone quiet publicly, but I assure you that it's still very much top of mind here at the Federation. If there's a silver lining in what's going on in this world today, we're going to find it here in Indianapolis. So thank you. We're doing okay. And now some important thank yous. I'm going to start with thanking our Federation staff. We have a leadership team of Danette Ellis, Margot Fox, Andrea Krasinski, Jeff Lincoln, Lori Moss, and Rebecca Shallett Newman, who are the ones who really do all the work for this community. I am absolutely dependent and absolutely grateful, not just for their support, but for their willingness to tell me the truth and to keep us all heading in the right direction. Brian Hoffman, Lynn Tromble, Brad Swim, Ashley Flaumenhoff, Michael Smoker, and Josh Lee have incredibly portfolios, as do Becca Choate, Andrew Steele, Ryan Short, Daniel Burnett, Jeremy Weiss, and Justin Weiss, not to mention our Jewish Family Services team of Rachel Katz, Julie Sonhelm, Boris Gorlin, Sally Caitlin, and Sharonda Lindsay. And they all champion the greatest needs in our community. Now, if you're wondering who these people are, and many of them are new and a lot of them aren't Jewish, let me tell you, these are deeply engaged and deeply committed people to supporting our Jewish community. This is a really, really hard time to do that. They go home, they turn on the news, and they're seeing the same thing that you and I are seeing, but this is their job. It's not necessarily their passion. But I'm telling you, these people feel it. They're coming to work every day, and they are working to protect and to serve and to strengthen this community. And I am proud to call each and every one of you my colleagues. Thank you all. As for our volunteer leadership, Helen already talked about it. It's been a heck of a year. It was only a year ago that we put in place a new executive committee, and we have relied on each of them to carry significant portfolios to a person. They have risen to the task and provided genuine partnership as real leadership to the professional staff. Across the community, I have loved working with you all. I've loved working with our dedicated past presidents and our entire general board over the year. I can't imagine how we would have gotten through this year and this crisis year without your leadership. Thank you. I want to thank the front row here, my wife Elise, for all of her support. And I want to thank Asaf Goldstein for all of his support as well. But especially Elise, really everything that we do is because of you, and this community really does owe you a great debt of gratitude. Thank you, honey. So that leaves Helen, our Federation president. So, thanks. Yeah. Seriously, I've been privileged to work with about 20 presidents in my career. And of course, they've all been wonderful partners. They really have been. To become president of an organization is always an achievement, and they're always fantastic, and they're always dedicated, and they're always great. But naturally, a few of them stand out. And I think we're a year in now, but I think it's pretty safe to say that, Helen's doing okay in my books. Last week, Helen and myself and Dan Cantor, Jean Shapiro, and several of our staff went on a field trip to see the Louisville JCC with some of our, with a lot of us. And Helen and I were sitting together on the bus, and we were hashing things out on the way back the way we do. And as anyone who's been around Helen and me hashing things out, it gets very loud. And we're basically yelling at each other, just completely yelling. And we sound like an old married couple. But when the yelling stops, we're almost always in alignment. And that's just kind of how it works. So Helen, you love this community as much as absolutely anybody here, except maybe Gigi. And most importantly, you understand every agency. You understand every synagogue, you know all the history, all the nuance, and you have a passion to make it all better than when you found it. Not only that, but you are empowering others to carry on the task when you're through with it. And that's an incredible thing, because the real mark of leadership is not just how well you do when you're when you're the leader, but how well do you have your leadership carry on after you. And Helen is absolutely dedicated to making sure that that's true. It is my genuine delight to be on this journey with you. And I can't wait to see how far we can go together in the next year ahead. So thank you. That's it. We're done. There's a dessert reception right over there. It's honoring our legacy community. So please stay for that. It's been a wonderful evening tonight. I want to thank everyone whose time has contributed to make this a successful event. And I get to adjourn the meeting with the same gavel. So adjourn.
Hold on. We need to have a motion to end the meeting.
There you go. Okay.
All right. So who can move? Okay. Move and second. All right. Is there anyone against adjourning? Thanks everyone for coming. We appreciate it.
Oh.
If you are an award recipient, please follow the photographer by the black umbrella. All award recipients, please go to the black umbrella. All right, we did it. Hold on a minute.